All right, so, T, you and I are... Wait, that's a terrible way to start. You never start things with so.
No.
No, never. In public speaking, they say don't start with so.
Really?
So I'm not cutting any of that. And we're going to go right into it and talk about 5 things that the Lego Batman series and Lego series with DC games in general. So we're also including Lego, DC supervillains, all this stuff. 5 things that it did maybe a little better than Batman Arkham.
Which is a tall order.
Well, that's the thing, is when we say this, none of these are digs at the Batman Arkham series or other DC video games.
Not at all. Not at all.
It's just giving the Lego games the credit where it's due. And then in the future, shortly, we'll do a list the other way around. 5 things that those games did better than Lego.
No doubt.
Before we jump into it, be sure to check out the new Let's Play channel. The details are in the description below, along with other ways to support the channel like Patreon, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, everything. And let's jump into it. The first thing you and I both wanted to talk about, T, is the actual characters in these games.
Yes, there are way more of them that you see in these games, and obviously that's kind of Lego's staple, is they bring out everything in the history books of the franchises that they cover. You see it in Star Wars, you see it in Harry Potter, you see it in the Batman and DC games as well. And I think the biggest one that you see it in the most recent one that I played, aside from Lego Batman 3 actually, was Lego DC Supervillains.
I thought you were going to say Lego Incredibles.
Lego, which is also, I heard, a banging game.
I really want to play that.
I do too. But with DC Supervillains, there is an immense amount of characters that they cover. And so there's, from Darkseid as the villain. And then you get into, obviously these big names, Superman, Batman, the Justice League, all of those. But you get down even to these smaller characters. I believe Condiment King shows up. The Polka Dot Man
they go really obscure with that. You even see that in the movie, which we're not including, but it is something that brand is super good at, is being like, oh, so we see you use Batman and Joker a lot, but what about Clue Master? They'll just grab something from out there, and that's fun because Lego is always sort of a celebration of a brand.
Yes.
It's if there's a Lego game for DC, it's a celebration of DC as a brand in game form. Or Star Wars. It's a celebration of Star Wars. They can't even make Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens without including all kinds of elements from outside that movie, because they know those elements and they want to do that. And they did such a good job with the characters in these Lego games in the same way.
Well, it feels like fans made the game, and that's what's awesome about it, is that a lot of love and care and passion about these characters are in the game. And not to say that's not in the Arkham series, but it's to say that we just get more access to it, and we get to enjoy the characters and see them and hunt them down even in the game as we're exploring. So
yeah, I've noticed that that's a point of contention too with some people that I've talked to, where it's hey, I like it more focused just on Batman. There's people who really enjoy that, but for you and I who are fans of the wider DC mythos, the Justice League, the Legion of Superheroes, all these things, it's Batman's one great element, but not the only one.
Right.
And that's why we like it, that you get to see all of these elements versus just a focus.
And I think that's why Lego DC Supervillains is probably one of, if not my favorite Lego game, is because it goes into all of the aspects of DC, and there's a million things going on there. And the Lego Batman games are great. But it's really, for me, I enjoy going to a wider array of locations and seeing way more characters.
I want to call you out on one thing, though. Yeah. I think that really what it is that you're down for that Lego Harley Quinn character model.
Listen,
if we're being honest.
Listen, did you have to call me out? Sure, it makes sense, and it's not wrong, so...
I'm just saying, we wrap this up, we look up some pics, and we get out of here. So the next thing we want to talk about, actually, is playable characters, too, which this is going to be a shorter point because it plays off of this. You actually pointed this out to me because I was talking to you before we recorded about how great the character selection is of people you run into, but it's not just that. It's that you can play as these characters. They have different moves, they do different things. Playing as Robin is different than playing as Batman, is different than playing as Superman, is different than playing as Darkseid. It's all different.
Oh yeah, exactly. They have different combat. They have different weapons. They have different moves. Some can fly, some can't. Even the Flash, he's got his speed. He's traveling around the world a lot faster. So there's different ways that the characters are designed, the way that they move, and also a lot of them, as you get later in the Lego games as well, have voice actors.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of them are well known. So even with once again back to Lego DC Supervillains, it's got Mark Hamill as Joker. It's got Kevin Conroy as Batman. It's got Tara Strong as Harley Quinn. So you have these people that are also reprising their roles from these amazing iterations of the characters. So to be able to play as them is awesome in the way that they actually spend time to develop the characters and make them it's not like you're playing as the same character with a different skin, I guess.
Yeah.
Everyone's different, and it's awesome.
It's very unique.
Yes.
And I think that really does inspire different gameplay elements too, and replayability, like you said before off camera too, because you have something like maybe a door that can only be opened by Darkseid or a certain type of character. It gives you reason to come back and replay it, other than just in the Arkham games, I enjoyed the story, or oh, I gotta go grab that Riddler thing. I mean, there's a bit more variety here that brings you back, but it's also very daunting.
Yes.
You know, it's a big commitment to 100% Lego games.
It really is. Yeah, it's a blast, but once you're committed to it, it is a grind for sure. To get all the gold bricks, to find all the character locations. It's really fun to discover them, but it's definitely a grind.
Yeah. Also more locations.
Yes.
Like there's a lot more going on in terms of like the setting and more locations. Like, are we going to be in Gotham? Are we going to be in outer space? Or, you know, where are we going to be in this setting? And really doing all of them in this almost cartoony way, but like with enough detail that you feel like you're actually there. It walks a tight rope, but it's able to do it. I mean, like the Batcave is not one-to-one what it would be in Batman the Animated Series in terms of detail. But when you're at the Batcave in a Lego game, you still feel like you're at the Batcave. It's able to capture the essence of places in the DC world and mythos and materialize them into like a fun brick building cartoon game. That's a pretty big accomplishment.
It is. They do a wonderful job at that. I remember in Lego Batman 3, for example, in the Batcave, you have you go in there and there's the Adam West TV set at the very end at the back of the Batcave, where you can go in and you can actually replay a level and like do a little mission with Adam West and Burt Ward, voicing these characters, which is a blast. And then, throughout you see like Kevin Smith showing up. So they have like people showing up in these locations too that help to make them memorable, but they also design them brilliantly. In the Lego Batman games, like you said, they go to space, you get to travel throughout Gotham, the Asylum, there's and even at Wayne Manor.
By the way, I probably can't show all these places while we're in the video.
Bad. Yeah.
No, that's totally fine, but I'm just letting them know that like I think I have the Lego games, but a lot of them I don't have save files for anymore, so I'll just be showing assorted stuff best I can.
Yeah,
but yes, trust us, there's a lot in here too.
Yes.
Between all of them. And it makes me excited to see what Lego locations we'll see in the future. Like, I would love to see Lego Superman. Like more on that end of the spectrum with like elements of the Justice League and maybe Live Wire and like Lex Luthor and all these characters that some of whom are in the Lego Batman games, but it would be fun to see in that setting. And that the sky's the limit. I mean, you don't really have to worry about shared universe plausibility in these either, because like who cares? You know what I mean? Nobody's like, well, wait a minute now, in the canon of Lego Batman 1 it was established that Batman actually had a nick in his left foot that he required when he like kicked the brick in the end of Lego Batman the prequel. It's like no one's doing that. Yeah. No one is doing that. It's not like Arkham or any of these other games where it's like you find these things, it's like, that doesn't really make any sense. It's like, because it's supposed to be a tight-knit thing. That element of fun with all these locations, I really think it helps these games feel like games.
It does. It's honestly, when you step into a Lego game, putting aside the grind of 100%.
And the few that are mediocre from like the mid-2000s.
Yes, I would even say, for me, Lego Batman 2 was a little bit mediocre for me, but that's just my opinion.
Oh, man.
I know, controversy, I know. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, when you put in a Lego game, aside from like an Arkham game, it's just a really laid back, fun experience that's designed to kind of just let you enjoy the characters, enjoy the worlds, and they do a great job of that with the locations starting out where you are. And I want to say quick too before is that like they had in DC Supervillains, they had Metropolis, they had Belle Reve Prison, I believe.
Belle Reve.
Yeah.
Idiot. You don't even know the DC canon exposed.
Yeah, I know.
Start the Twitter hashtag T is a fraud.
No. And then they had like Wayne Manor, and then they had Gotham, and then I think they went over to the Asylum as well.
Yeah.
So and that's just the start too. Obviously, they can build off of that and do so many more things. So.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I also think that the exploration, this will be an actual shorter point because it really does go off of that. It feels more rewarding to both of us because the exploration in Arkham, really fun. You find like some really cool like hidden details. There's also a lot of Arkham games where there's not as many. I mean, like something like Origins. I love it. It's actually one of my favorites in the series, but the exploration is not that rewarding. And it is in City, and it is somewhat in Asylum, and then it's not really that rewarding again in Night. And so it's like a mixed bag because you have like the only reason to go back to a lot of places is to find these little green Riddler trophies, and that's it.
That's about it. Yeah, you're kind of with the Arkham games. A lot of the time, it's going back, and when it was rewarding is when you would scan like a riddle. For me, when I felt it was most rewarding is when you would scan something and it would be an Easter egg to a character that wasn't in the game. So like Prometheus in Asylum or
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yes, things like that, which were awesome.
Or Bane's mask in Night, like Bane's equipment being shipped back to Santa Prisca.
Yes, or even Scarecrow on top of City.
Yeah.
On top of that. So there's some awesome things in there. But it was, for me, when you play the Lego games and you invest in exploring around the map, the open world, and you're finding these characters and you're collecting gold bricks, for me, it's very rewarding to every time that I saw a character token pop up that I could access and then go get.
Yeah.
It was like, I can't wait to see what character this is. I'm really excited. Like, who am I going to be able to play as next? So, for me, the exploring was a bit more rewarding and a bit more fun because you were getting something new out of it every time. And with the Arkham series, a lot of times you were just getting Riddler trophies.
Yeah, the same element in each game.
Yes.
I agree with you though completely. Like where the exploration is rewarding in Arkham is with all these Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Which are fun to see. I think the problem is that like once you've seen them a few times, they're in your head. You've seen them. And it's just, neat. Next time you see them. Whereas like Lego, if you're replaying and you're re-exploring again, it feels rewarding every time to unlock Plastic Man.
Yes.
Or to unlock Darkseid or someone and be like, now I can do this. That's a very different feeling than just, hey, I found Scarecrow's mask for the 10th playthrough.
Right.
It's still cool.
Yeah.
But like, it's just, you're not getting anything out of it other than your personal, neat. So
exactly, yeah.
The next thing, the final thing is accessibility. This one to us was like hard to talk about. So the thing with this is that when we say it does it better, it does it differently. It's hard to fully like rationalize it's objectively better. But at the same time, there is something really to be said about the fact that like with the Lego games, they can be enjoyed by any demographic. Your 4-year-old son, you at 25 or 30, or maybe your grandpa or grandma at 60 could all be sitting in a room together playing the Lego game, each enjoying it for a different reason. That's a bit of a different target demographic and accessibility factor than you have with Arkham.
For sure, yeah, and the thing with the Lego games too is it's more of a mind game as well as far as like pressing buttons and learning what to do. I feel like it's a lot less challenging than Arkham, where there's a timing, there's a way to do things that you kind of have to figure out, and like things change as well. Things get more difficult as you play the games.
Yeah,
Lego games stay stay pretty consistent. And your punishment for death is just like you lose a few points, and then and that's about it. So there's less of a punishment for it. It's more of just like, hey, we want you to enjoy this. Here's some small challenges. Here's some like, yes, this will challenge your mind more so, but like that's something that you can absolutely do with a father and son, or even a grandfather and son. Like you said, there's a wide range of an audience that could play these games and enjoy them, and it's a very low stress. More of just a fun, let's just enjoy some time together kind of thing.
Yeah, so. And that is awesome to see, I think, too, in gaming. Like a game series that kind of can bring people together is really neat.
And couch co-ops. You just don't see a lot of them anymore. So
No, you sadly don't. It's they sort of tap into a part of the market that's just not there. You don't see it. So that's awesome to see. So hey, let us know what you think in the comments down below. What do you like more about the Lego Batman series? What do you like more about the Batman Arkham series? And even, obviously other games too in here, like Lego DC Supervillains and any other tie-ins like that. Let us know what you're thinking, and we will definitely do the opposite of this list in the near future. Be sure to subscribe if you like the content. Follow us on all the social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Wait, we don't have a Facebook. Backpedal. We got a Patreon. There we go. That's a little sneaky plug there. And even the Let's Play channel. And we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.